Here's the X-Bose ergonomic keyboard that's launching via Kickstarter. We got a preview version, so what's really cool is that if you actually participate in the keyboard on Kickstarter, you're going to get it because they've already made it. So I'm assuming that the firmware may change, the hardware may change, but this guy is now live on Kickstarter and we've got a preview for you to check out. So first off, what I really like about this keyboard is that it is compact. So this is a drawer, pull-out drawer, and I did the test here to show you that. And typical ergonomic keyboards don't fit well in these types of situations, and so a lot of people have these small spaces for keyboards. This one fits fine. In fact, it fits so compactly that you can put a trackpad or a mouse next to it. So, and you still got lots of room there. Right, then on back to the keyboard. It's got this plug-in micro USB port here, and it's just using a standard USB port. So if this cord ever gets broken or frayed, and they will over time, just pop in a standard $2 micro USB cord and you're back in action. I haven't actually seen that ever before on a keyboard, so that's a nice little touch there, so you don't scrap your whole keyboard just for a broken cable. And they're using mechanical keys here, so this layout here is with the Cherry MX keys, but you can choose the type of mechanical key. I'm not sure how many they're going to launch with on Kickstarter. Cherry MX is a good general purpose key, so it's got really good feel, possibly one of the best feels out there, but it is a little loud for some folks, so I'm going to hear that. So if you're in an office situation, you're going to be making those kinds of noises for your office mates. There are different kinds of mechanical keyboards. Some are a little bit quieter than others or have a different tactile feel. I like the Cherry, as long as that the noise doesn't bother you. It's a really good option. Obviously, you can see the LED lights. I believe those are customizable. I haven't done it yet on this particular keyboard. And all of these keys are user mappable too. So if you like the Alt key to actually be your space key and vice versa, you can remap keys and they'll have software for that. Let's start on the right side. So the right side's a little familiar to some folks and not so much for others. Like your function keys on this side here, arrow keys are on below. Your sort of backspace is here below the print screen. So that's a pretty common one to use, and so you're going to end up clicking this one quite a bit. And so actually I do. It took me about 48 hours to get used to this layout. It is a really well laid out radial design, so it's going to force your hands to be in a natural position. So when you place your hands as naturally as possible, it's going to map perfectly well and allow you to type in a forced position that's good for your hands. So unlike those straight keyboards where there's tension now on my fingers to kind of keep that position, you don't realize that after years of typing. This one allows you to both relax and position it correctly. So it's not going to come for free. You're going to have to learn how to re-type and sort of get used to both an angle and sort of a radial design on the keys. But it does work, and if you're willing to invest the time, your hands are going to thank you. Notice also one big difference here is that the shift key is here, so you're going to use your thumb to do all your shifting versus your pinky on the left or your pinky on the right. Now that was awkward at first, and that was the thing that I had to adjust to the most, but it's actually kind of cool in the sense that like you want to do a capital A, instead of like shifting your hand over and then using now your ring finger for the A and then your pinky for the shift, you're actually using your right thumb and just hitting the A as normal. So your fingers are actually hitting the keys regardless if it's caps or not, exactly how you should be, and then your right thumb is shifting. So that change is going to take some time, but it's going to prevent your hands from traveling when you don't actually need to, and you probably don't even notice. Alright, let's flip this thing around. I did do a drop test. I just dropped it a few times and none of the keys popped out, so that seemed pretty stable. I shouldn't have actually done that until I shot this video, but I just went for it. So the back is made with, this is non-slick, non-stick device covering stuff. I'm not sure what kind of ABS plastic this is, but rubberized plastic. These are actually highly rubberized, so you got these feet here that are rubberized. And you've got a couple of these on both ends to adjust the angle. So either your keyboard is completely flat, or it's up, I don't know, maybe 20 degrees or so. And it's not sort of an incremental adjustment here, so either it's all the way down or it's all the way up. Right, so that's it. That's pretty well thought through. And it is solid. And this is a solid keyboard. I'm going to guess this is going to last you for 10 years, 5 to 10 years easy. You know, these keys seem solid. Tried prying them out and looking at them and whacking them a little bit. I didn't try pouring a beer on them. I don't know if that'll survive that, but you know, your mileage may vary on that. Just for comparison's sakes, let me move this on the side and put one of my other favorite keyboards in here. Let's get this. So this is the Freestyle 2 keyboard. And so first off the bat, as I sort of configure this, you can see this thing just barely fits in a pull-out keyboard drawer. So if you got one of these and split where you can actually, you know, split it apart, then you're not going to have room on here for a mouse or a trackpad. So these don't work for pull-out drawers where the Expos fit in almost any tight space. And I also noticed that the layout here, it's very traditional. So you've got basically a normal keyboard here, and the ergonomics come from the tenting, or the angles up and the angles sort of between, or the distance between the keys. Whereas you're going to get sort of all of that built into this compact space where you've got this radial design where the keys are positioned in different ways, so you get the ergonomics in a slightly more compact way. All right, so that's it for part one. All right, here's a quick peek at some of the customization you can do with the backlighting. This is really cool. I was quite impressed with this, and so were my kids, who thought this was the coolest keyboard in the world simply because of this backlighting. So notice there's this Star Trek-like logo in the front, so you can adjust the color of that. So everything is done directly on the keyboard. I don't mind, I've got chickens here, so you're gonna hear the chickens here this morning. Okay, so you're gonna hold the shift and the function key, and to change the logo, they want you to do the right space bar. So you can see that sort of cycling through. I don't know if the color is coming through, but you pick the color you like. And so I like that greenish color. You continue to hold shift and function for all of these features here. So the delete key will change the horizontal effects. So you can see, well, that's pretty obvious what kind of different effects are happening here. You even have like no effect if you just want the Star Trek-like logo. So like your glowing, breathing versus your left to right or nothing. Okay. They also have the ability to change the speed at which this color effect happens. So you can go from really fast to really slow. Right. So on the page up, they have some movement effects. You see, you can start to look like you've got some party going on. Maybe you can even use this for some backlighting for your party. There's 3 different movement effects here. And a Tetris-like effect there. All the chickens are in full force now. All right. And page down would give, what is this? Lingering keys versus individual color or full rainbow. Wow, that's pretty wild. Okay. The plus and minus will decrease the speed or increase the speed. So you can totally customize that. Right, and then your up arrows will give you the ability to increase the brightness or decrease the brightness. It's down to nothing. So if you want it subtle, so if you want it just all white and subtle, not pulsating, I guess there's a feature set for that. Let's see, the right will change the color, the right arrow. I guess you have to be on a non-rainbow option for that. And left is to change the effect direction. So I had that working before. So if you have a right wave, then you can make it do a left wave. And if you also screw it up, there's a really wild combination. You have to hit Shift, Function, Escape, F1, F3, and F5 and that resets the keyboard. Let me see if I can do that. Shift function, escape, F1, F3, and F5. And there you go. Got the keyboard to reset. Back to stock. Alright, and a couple of quick updates too. I thought I had the Cherry MX switches, and these are actually the Gatoron blue switches, which, you know, I think I can't really tell the difference. They're both extremely good switches here, and I think they're gonna possibly offer the Cherry option in the future. From what I've read online, because I can't really tell the difference, the Gatorons are slightly more silkier and smoother, and so that's one sort of positive advantage of the Gatoron over the Cherry. But I think they're pretty much identical from my point of view. Alright, hope this was helpful.
Alright, here's a quick peek at the Expo's website. You can see they've got a competition going on right now. And info on the Kickstarter. Notes there that the Kickstarter dates are from September 12th to November 8th. The first 100 units is going for 99 bucks, then the next 1,000 for 119, and the rest for 129. This is a good note. They're saying that there's international shipping available. Here's some of the features that they have. Faster, we haven't verified that, but it seems very likely. Healthier, definitely. Cooler, according to my kids, this is the coolest keyboard in the world. I was impressed with the amount of customization you can do on the LED backlighting. Let's see, this is some info on their crossbow radial design. And more features coming up here. So aluminum case, I couldn't confirm that, but that seems plausible. That you can customize your switch. That just means that you can choose your switch, not that you can remove the switch later and replace it with a different kind of mechanical switch. I have the Cherry MX version, remappable keys, and that's it.